Beautiful landscapes, lovely weather, an amazing campsite, and a wonderful and diverse route. Oh, and chasing cute little bunnies. You are joining me on my 2-day solo bikepacking trip along the lakes between Spandau and Potsdam. And I'm cycling this route in October, so besides enjoying the stunning autumn colors, we will see how the camping will go with 3 degrees Celsius.
Morning.
So we have a lot to cover in this video. And then I haven't even talked about the food yet. Yeah. But first, I want to give you a little update about my stolen bike. And for those of you who have no clue what I'm talking about, a couple weeks ago my bicycle got stolen. Which means that this video is the last one with my beloved bicycle. As promised, I would give an update if I knew more, and so here I am. Well, the police unfortunately haven't found my bike, and the insurance by no means covers all the costs, which of course was to be expected, but still sucks. Yeah. But I must say, I've got a lot of really nice, lovely comments of all of you guys, and that really helps a lot. So thank you for that. And I have been thinking, as some of you suggested in the comments, to start something like a FundMe page to support me. But honestly, I had a lot of doubts about this, as this bike stealing thing is really my problem, and I really didn't want to make it yours. However, some people around me said, well, if people enjoy your videos, they just maybe want to support you. So, yep. I did start a Buy Me a Coffee page, which I will put the link in the description down below. But if you're just enjoying my videos, please don't feel like you have to support me in that way. However, if you do want to support me in a way, then it also really helps to watch this video all the way to the end and like and subscribe to my channel, and also tell all your friends and family about this video and my channel, as then I will reach 1,000 subscribers, which makes that I'll be monetized on YouTube. So that also really helps. Okay, enough about this. Let's finally start with the beautiful ride of the day. I start today's ride with filling my water bottles and packing the last items for my bikepacking trip. And then I jumped on my bike. And as it is already October, I'm really lucky with the lovely weather. However, I must say it was also quite cold. But more about that later. For now, I'm still really enjoying the ride. Let's talk about the route. The plan is to cycle in 2 days along the lakes between Spandau and Potsdam, starting and ending in Berlin. The route along the lakes is 75 kilometers, and the distance from my house in Berlin to the route is 20 kilometers one way. So in total I will cycle around 120 kilometers in 2 days, which sounds like a nice distance. And these first kilometers going to the official route are already really nice and diverse, crossing bridges, cozy areas, and leading me almost to the highway. Everything so far went really smoothly, until the road was blocked due to roadworks. So I had to find another route. which did not succeed immediately. But luckily I managed to find an accessible route. Not long after, however, I got back into trouble, as the route that my navigation system showed me wasn't existing, at least not for cyclists. So I again had to find another way.
Second time.
And after looking at the map for a bit, I decided which way I had to go instead, to continue my route, which caused a small detour of around 5 kilometers. But I couldn't complain about the route, as it again led me through some nice areas. The path, however, was going slightly up for quite a while.
Now you can see this. It's going up. Not too much, but still a little bit. And yeah, it's still going up. So much fun.
And here it goes slightly down. I must say, this route isn't hard when looking at the height difference. But there were some parts where there was just a slightly bit of height difference, but then for a really long time, so I just wasn't really expecting that on this route. Then it was time for my first break.
Time for that. Perfect. So now having my first break, I biked around 25 kilometers, a little bit more than I expected because I had to take a detour because the road was blocked. But so far it is a really nice route. It has a lot of green nature, so that's really nice. The weather is really good, so I just had a snack and some water, and I'll put sunscreen on. And then I'll start with the route around the lakes, which I'm very excited for. I must say, when the sun is not there, it's a bit cold. So when I'm on the bike, it's fine. When I'm on the bike, it's fine when I'm moving, but when I'm sitting down and there is no sun, it's a bit chilly, but that's fine. It's not too cold, and mostly because it's a little bit like this, my body gets activated and it's not too bad. So a first good break and a good start, I want to say. Ready to get back on the bike because I need to warm up a bit.
After this first break, the route that I had planned really started. So not long after I got back on my bike, I entered Spandau. At the train station of Spandau, the route turned and slowly brought me into less busy places. And as I didn't know if there would be a lot of supermarkets or places to have lunch on the route, I decided before leaving Spandau for real to stop at this nice bakery. So my lunch was in the pocket and now I only needed to find a nice spot to eat it when I felt like it. Cycling further and further, the route indeed became more and more nature. So I was glad I didn't have to look for food anymore.
We are again going up. Up, up, up. Going up.
Yes, I feel like I have to explain a bit here as I'm again complaining about the height difference while on camera you hardly see anything. So just to clarify, at this point of the route, the rate of increase is 4%, which isn't that much. However, as mentioned in a previous fragment, it was a road which was very long, a little bit of a height difference, which made it a bit hard. But really want to make sure that I think me talking about like how hard it is more about my expectations of this route, as I thought it would be totally flat because it was around a lake. The route isn't hard, so don't be discouraged to do this route because I'm here talking about the hills and stuff, so don't worry. Okay, back to the video. What also played with my expectations was that I cycled along 2 lakes, but I hadn't seen that much water yet. So I wondered when the route would go near the lakes. And luckily, just when I was starting to look for a spot to eat my lunch, I encountered the water side. And this place was beautiful, so before eating I had to walk around for a bit, fly with my drone and stare at the swans.
So I just arrived at this beautiful spot where it's just so silent and there's no traffic and it's beautiful. It's now 12:30, a little bit later, and I'm going to have lunch here. And so far, 2 things. Well, as I already mentioned, it's quite cold, but when biking, my core body is quite good, but my hands are just freezing. And on some moments also I have this, how do you call it, like if you drink something really cold, like a brain freeze. So I have that feeling sometimes, but it's not too bad because the weather is also really great. So it's cold, but it's also beautiful, and until this point I actually must say that the route isn't really what I expected. This place is, so I think from here on it will be really beautiful, but until this point there was a lot of traffic and a lot of like city vibe. So yeah, I liked it, but I didn't really like it. So we'll see yeah, what the route will become. Now I'm gonna have some lunch and some sunscreen on and enjoy this beautiful view. And for lunch I boiled 2 eggs and I bought some bread and pizza. So that's my lunch, and of course something sweet. Oh, and I forgot to tell you that I'm already halfway. I biked around 35 kilometers and I think in total it would be around 60 today, a little bit more maybe. So it's going well, I'm feeling good. Looking good. Cheers. Egg sandwich with a view.
And as mentioned, after finishing one sandwich, it was time for the sweet treat, which tasted really good, especially with this view. Having finished my lunch, I jumped back on my bike, and here you can see that this spot has also some restaurants if you didn't bring your own lunch. Continuing the route, it changed a bit, as earlier there was a lot of traffic, which made me say this about the route.
I liked it, but I didn't really like it.
Which was, I think, a bit too harsh, as the route was actually really nice. But the traffic was, I guess, a bit too much for me. And now that the road became more quiet, I could really appreciate it.
So I just had a really nice lunch, but I was sitting a little bit too long as I got really cold. So now I'm warmed up again by cycling, but yeah, need to watch out for that. So enjoying this wonderful area.
And without the constant sound of cars in the background, enjoying this beautiful route wasn't hard at all, especially with all these awesome colors. I love that. And just when I was enjoying the route to the fullest, it got even better. The route gave me another view of the beautiful lake. So for the second time I stopped for a bit and enjoyed the view. This viewing spot did require to go off the road just a little bit. So when cycling this route, be aware of these wonderful spots just beside the road so you won't miss them. Not long after this short stop, I arrived in Potsdam, which meant that I was getting close to my campsite for the night. But the route still had some nice paths for me in store. Again, along quite some car roads, but now the sound of the cars wasn't so present as it was before. I guess because there was a better balance between the nature and the traffic, as the route brought me along views like this. look at this fascinating tree. Oh, and this cute house which I cross in the park shortly after.
So it's now 3 o'clock and I have around 10 kilometers left to the campsite, and the weather is still really good. There's a lot of sun, also quite some wind, which makes it a little bit cold some moments. And I must say, after lunch break I was sitting still for too long and I was shivering. So yeah, you can think, what were you thinking? It's October, you're in Germany, of course it will be cold. And yes, I would have expected that. So far it's good. Yeah, I'm not complaining.
Having crossed the sign of Potsdam, one long street accompanied by lovely trees brings me all the way to the Nauener Tor. And going right at this stop brings me to the Brandenburger Tor in Potsdam, which was beautiful with the sun, the blue sky and the lovely autumn trees. And of course there were a lot of people who wanted to take a picture here, so while waiting I ate my last grapes. Until I was the only one there. Almost. After also taking some photos, it was time to go to my last destination, the campsite.
Okay, I have no clue where I'm going. I changed the route because I thought I saw a different one, a shorter one, but I have no clue if that also is true. Oh yeah, I guess it is something. We'll see. Well, I think I can go to the right here. Yeah, perfect.
As my shortcut had worked, I was now cycling my last kilometer through this nice forest, which was a good introduction to the lovely campsite I will be staying on. And there it is. And no, I wasn't lying about how amazing this campsite is. Look for yourself. Time to check in, and on the way to the reception I saw this cute art machine and I loved those details. Checking in didn't take long, although the lady behind the desk wanted to make sure that it was correct that I had reserved 10 spots, as I was literally the only one. As it was already around 4 o'clock when I arrived, I wanted to set up my tent and take a shower as quickly as possible. However, when I arrived at the right field, I found out there were bunnies at the campsite. So, yeah. And I warn you, this will not be the last time. Nope.
Oh my god. Hello. Oh no, too chubby. Oh, this is here. Hi. Oh, bye.
After scaring the bunnies, it was time to look for a spot. But when I saw the water side, I had to take a closer look as well, because it is stunning. See for yourself. Then it was finally time to set up my tent. And 1, 2, 3.
Hello. Hello, you girly darlings. Oh no, I'm so sorry.
After scaring yet more bunnies, I knew it was time to set up my tent for real. And although it was quite a while ago when I last pitched my tent, it still went pretty smooth.
So, as you can see, I have arrived and I'm literally the only one with a tent here, and I just set up my tent, as you can see, and everyone was looking so strange. Like, what is she doing? And I might wonder, like, what am I doing? Maybe I'm crazy, maybe it's just too cold, maybe I shouldn't camp in October in Germany, but I kind of have all my in this one. This is my new fluffy sleeping bag, and I did sleep in it once and it was really nice, so I hope this one will get me through the night. I also have this yellow thing. I'm not sure if it does anything, but if I'm really cold and I didn't put it there, then I would say, oh, maybe it would have helped. So I'm doing my best. And now in the sun is really nice, but on the bike on some moments there was a lot of wind and I was not cycling in the sun. It was actually really cold. Sometimes I was shivering. I'm cold. But when I was like cycling good, like going up a hill or something, then it was fine. So we will see. We will see. Yeah, feeling quite lonely here. No one there. But it's beautiful. Hello, Mikey. Yeah. So now plan is to get these bags into the tent and then find some food that I can cook or warm up, I don't know, and take a shower. This one feels so cozy. I bought it second hand, but it only used a couple of times and it is working, so I'm really happy. So nice. And it matches with my yellow cloth. Gonna sleep like a baby, hopefully.
So yeah, we'll see about that. While I'm putting all my bags inside my tent, I wonder whether a lot of you also put all of your bags inside your tent or just leave them on the bicycle. So if you're a bikepacker with a tent, please let me know down in the comments what your strategy is. Now my sleeping setup is ready, let's take a shower. Or not. Third time.
Okay, I'm fine.
Okay, moving on to the center building, which is very new and very fancy. A lovely shower later, I headed back to my tent and oh gosh.
Hi. Hello. Oh, you're so close.
I did come close this time. And besides the bunnies, there was again something else that also distracted me from getting food, namely the view. time for food. And no, we're not looking for ice, as we want some proper hot food. That, however, turned out to be quite a challenge, proper food, as this small supermarket had a lot of items, but not necessarily useful items, not for dinner at least. What they did have, for example, were many jars of pickles and garlic. So yes, enjoy this view for a bit before we talk about dinner. Oh yeah, and of course...
Oh no, yep, bye-bye.
I don't know about you, but this campsite is unreal, like so beautiful. Okay, back to reality. I just took a shower, so I'm all warmed up again, and this shower was pretty great as it was so clean and so warm, and you can set your own temperature. Lovely. And I'm pretty sure that the floor was also heated. So I think if this whole camping in October thing is a big disaster, if I'm freezing inside of my sleeping bag, then I'm pretty sure that I will end up in the middle of the night in the showers. Maybe just showering for 8 hours straight, I don't know, lying on this warm floor, I don't know. But it was really nice. And now it's time for dinner. Yes, and well, how can I say this? I really don't know how it always ends up like this. Not always, but multiple times already. So I made this mistake on multiple times. Some of you might know. And the thing is, the mistake is that I kind of not buy food for dinner. Well, this time I did it on purpose because I knew there was a supermarket, small supermarket, by the campsite. So I thought, well, I'm in the flow right now, just go to the campsite and I will have food there. Well, they had a supermarket, but there weren't any vegetables, and they had some really strange things for like a campsite supermarket. And not like normal like spaghetti sauce and spaghetti, for example. Oh, they had spaghetti but not sauce or tomatoes or something. So, a long story short, this is gonna be my dinner. Tomaten Nudeltopf. Which I think, look at the picture, is pasta ready made in a can, which sounds delicious. Well, if this is not the thing, then I'll still have a bread and some Nutella and probably some chocolates. So yeah, we'll see how this tastes. Why am I like this? So, if I want it or not, time to heat up my meal. Doesn't that look delicious? It actually looks more like a soup than pasta. And yes, I was planning on putting my leftover snack tomatoes inside this soup tomato thing, but I'd rather eat my precious tomatoes by themselves. Yeah. Much better. Now let's heat up. What? Wow. That's interesting. Looks like it's ready. Yummy. Okay, I'm going to give it an honest chance. Maybe it tastes better than it looks. I love the song, by the way, in the background. Okay, I didn't stop eating it right away. Okay. And here I even tried the food with some bread. Okay, let me give you a review of this meal. As at that moment there were people sitting in the back and I felt weird to talk to the camera at that moment. So yeah, the pasta. Well, I must say I was very hesitant because the meal was in a can and well, yeah. But I must say it wasn't awful. But it also wasn't good. So yeah, I hope that the pasta sauce would have been less fluid, like more like a sauce instead of soup. And the pasta itself was really corny and I didn't like it. So I didn't eat that. I however did eat the meatballs and also the kind of soup with the bread, which was okay. So yeah. It was okay. So overall, it could be worse, but after a long day of being on the bicycle, it could also have been much, much, much better. Yes. Having finished dinner, I made myself ready for bed and went back to my tent. And it was really dark at the campsite.
So I just looked at the temperature for tonight and it says it will be a minimum 6 degrees. So we'll see how it goes. Well, I followed all the tips that I got from you as viewers, but also from family and the internet in general. And so I did some exercise before I went into the tent. I have water bottles filled up with warm water inside of my sleeping bag. I of course have a way better sleeping bag, which should hold up to -5 degrees, so that would do hopefully a lot. I have this silver folie beneath my sleeping mat. I have this new how do you say that, like a shirt for cold weather, isolating shirt. What did I do more? I eat enough, I guess, so my body will can be heated by itself. So yeah, I hope it will be enough. I honestly must say this sleeping bag does already a lot, so I think I will be okay, but I don't want to be too optimistic too early as I didn't change my sleeping mat, so that's still a thing. Well, yeah, I think that's it. That's what I did, and I do have some more like layers here to put on if it's needed. Put it around my neck when it's needed, but this one also goes over my head, so I think that also will be very, very nice. Okay. Yeah, we'll see how the night goes, and you'll hear it from me tomorrow morning. Bye bye, good night.
Well, more about that in the next video. So yeah, this was it for this video. If you've watched this video all the way to the end, thank you so much. And if you liked it, it really helps if you like this video and subscribe to my channel. And as mentioned, tell all your friends and family to subscribe as well. And of course, you can also support me via the Buy Me a Coffee page, which I will link in the description. So, and I'll say thank you all for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.